system on.
Freedom, SpaceX, go for Crew 4 launch.
Yeah, hey guys, country Russian launches, SpaceX Crew 4.
Freedom is go for launch.
I believe Freedom is the name of the actual vehicle itself.
SpaceX reports go. Crew reports
T-minus
go.
30 seconds.
You heard it there. 30 seconds away from liftoff. T-minus 20.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Mission.
And
liftoff of Crew 4.
Freedom ready. Godspeed, Crew 4.
Don't clap until it hits it, so you know what that's.
Vehicle pitching
That's the rules.
Freedom soars and the Dragon flies forth. Vehicle already pitching down range. All 9 Merlin engines have lit.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Getting good performance on stage 1 propulsion already.
Plus 35 seconds into the 4th rotational mission on board Dragon and the Falcon 9. 9 1D engines on the first stage are beginning to throttle down.
Throttle down.
In preparation for max Q. This is where the vehicle will experience the highest amount of aerodynamic pressures, so we'll throttle down the engines in preparation for that event.
Vehicle is supersonic.
That's all good.
So we passed the speed of sound. We're already
Max
Q. And there's our call out for max Q.
Stage 1 throttle.
So right after max Q, we begin to throttle those engines up again.
Copy 1 Bravo.
And 1 Bravo, so we're in the second and final abort mode for the first stage. Continuing to get good performance there. The crew already pulling in excess of 2 Gs. And coming up next is going to be a couple of events in rapid succession.
Yep, in about 10 seconds here, we're going to be performing engine chill on the second stage MVAC engine. And then in about a minute, we're going to start off with MECO, also known as main engine cutoff. This is where those 9 engines that you're seeing ignite on, being lit up on screen, those are going to cut off in preparation for stage separation, where the first and second stage separate from one another, and then the single Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage will ignite and continue to carry our Crew 4 astronauts to orbit.
Heard that MVAC chill has started.
Stage 1 throttle down.
The 9 Merlin engines starting to throttle down. And standing by for MECO.
And MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
There it goes.
MECO, stage separations confirmed.
Stage 2 alpha.
Yeah, precision mission.
Ignition.
We see that second stage engine light. We're in 2 alpha, the second abort mode. The second stage is lit, continuing to carry the Crew 4 astronauts onto orbit.
And this is a fantastic view. On the left-hand side, this is the first stage, now separated from the second stage, but it's still being illuminated by that single Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage on the right-hand side of your screen. So right now, the first stage is making its way back to Earth to attempt its 4th landing on our drone ship, a shortfall of gravitas. The crew is on the opposite side of the engine that you see on the right-hand side of your screen. They are continuing with their journey to outer space.
Seeing good performance on that lone Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage. The cruise G-load dips right when we hit that separation event, and it's going to continue to build up now. Just heard acquisition of signal Bermuda. That means we're
Dragon,
now...
SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
I guess we'll follow the path that it's meant to be.
Nominal trajectory.
That was our guidance, navigation, and control officer. Nominal trajectory. Dragon's pointed in the right direction, continuing its flight to orbit. We heard Bermuda called out. That's one of the ground stations now receiving telemetry from the Dragon as it continues its path uphill. So we'll have the dueling boxes here for a while as the first stage makes its way down. That second stage going to continue firing until about a little over 8 minutes into the flight. Doing the heavy lifting now.
The first stage has a couple of events itself in order to land on our drone ship. So at T plus 7 minutes and 25 seconds, it's going to start its entry burn. It's going to be one of 2 burns. This is where 3 of the 9 Merlin
Dragon,
engines
SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
on the first stage will relight and burn for about 30 seconds in order to slow the vehicle down before hitting the denser parts of the Earth's atmosphere.
Acquisition of signal, New Hampshire.
All right, now on the New Hampshire ground station, another call out there from our guidance, navigation, and control officer, nominal trajectory. Second stage continues to power. Call out just then, propulsion is nominal, the engine performing as expected. Crew pulling a little more than 1.25 Gs right now. Again, that's going to continue to ramp up, peaking just before we get to that second stage cutoff.
Yep,
Just how it works.
single
Yeah, that's
cylinder
right.
can produce over
Get created.
220,000 pounds of thrust in the vacuum of space, so they are definitely feeling it.
And we're already about 200 kilometers in altitude.
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal trajectory. Freedom copies, nominal trajectory.
Great call out that we are headed in the direction that we need to, and we just heard from Shell, the commander.
And we should get one more of those trajectory check-ins in about 30 seconds from now. And then we'll start to hit our events in rapid succession as the first stage continues to make its way back home. The second stage will start to wrap up its job of delivering these astronauts into orbit.
Also, in the second stage, you then proceed to deorbit itself to burn up in a controlled fashion over a hopefully uninhabited part of the planet.
Yeah, we don't see it on screen right now, but the first stage is making its way back to our drone ship in about
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
30 seconds here. It's going to start its entry burn.
Freedom copies, nominal trajectory.
And there was the other call out that you were mentioning, Dan, about the trajectory. Things again continuing to look very, very good for the ascent portion.
Stage 2, flight termination system.
So for those just joining us,
Stage
we
1
are
entry burn startup.
just under 8 minutes into flight. We have 4 astronauts as part of the crew for operational.
Just the entry level move.
You can see on the left-hand side, this is our first stage.
That's a 3-engine.
9 Merlin engines reignited and slowing down the first stage before we hit the denser parts of the Earth's atmosphere. So this first
Again,
stage
standard
has
procedure for
one more burn
all the
left.
entries.
That's going to happen just before the T plus 9 minute mark, and then we'll attempt a landing for the 4th time on our drone ship that's currently parked in the Atlantic Ocean.
So as that entry burn completes,
Terminal guidance.
we're in the final stages of the second stage's flight into orbit. We're about to pass through several of the different abort phases, which essentially correspond to areas along the very northeastern seaboard of the U.S. and then across the Atlantic and off the coast of Scotland. But continuing to get call-outs that stage 2 propulsion is nominal,
Copy, Shannon.
and the call-out of Shannon, Ireland, that's
Stage 1 transonic.
indicative
Yeah, that's one of the abort zones.
final abort zone.
And after this second stage engine shuts off its engine, we are going to be listening for the confirmation of a good orbit, which tells us that the
And
crew
shutdown.
and Dragon are where they need to be in
Stage
orbit.
1 landing burn.
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal orbit insertion.
And that was the call that we wanted on the second stage. Here's a fantastic view.
Very good.
of the
Dragon
first stage.
SpaceX launch escape system is disarmed.
Fantastic view of the
Landing
first
lights
stage.
deployed.
Landing lights are deployed, returning back to Earth for a
Cameras
first
are
time.
being overexposed. And she's down.
And just like that, a fourth landing
Stage
as
one
part
landing
of the
confirmed.
Crew 4 mission. You can hear the applause behind us. But prior to this,
Acquisition signal, Newfoundland.
we saw the crew, we heard that the crew has been successfully inserted into a good orbit, and this is them in 0G
Just surviving.
for the first time.
And getting a look, it looks like we might have a couple of 0G indicators. I see a turtle in Bob Hines' hands. That is the nickname for the astronaut class from 2017. He and Jessica Watkins were a part. I believe we've got a monkey floating over by Samantha Cristoforetti. But first view of Crew 4 on orbit, experiencing microgravity. They're still attached to that second stage, which at this point is going to continue to coast for a couple of minutes. It's got small reaction control thrusters on the upper part of the second stage that can be used to cancel out rates, essentially making sure that they're on a stable coast before we get to that separation event, after which we'll see Dragon Freedom flying free for the first time.
We've got, a couple of turtle waves. The turtle class really does seem to be taken over now with a turtle 0G indicator.
All right, we should be
Basically,
from that separation, after which a number of activation and checkouts occur automatically. First, checking out 12 of those Draco maneuvering thrusters all around the service section of the Dragon capsule. We'll also start to get ready for the nose cone opening, which it stays closed for the flight uphill to help protect all of those guidance, navigation, and control sensors. It's also